Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Touchdown Talk podcast, the best podcast for all things sports. I am your co host, Anthony, and with me is the other co host here at Touchdown Talk, Ryan.
So happy to be here, Tony. Thank you. Really appreciate you. We got some good, awesome sports stuff going on. NBA playoffs. We got the NFL draft coming up in just a few days. So super excited to recap everything with y'all.
Yes, sir. And we got a packed ass episode for you guys today. We got, some Ashton Jeanty talk, Patriots talk, Bill Belichick, my man. Happy late birthday, Bill, by the way. And we got, recap of the NBA playoffs. So round one has started. Yeah, all the game ones are done.
Yep.
And, we got to see we have some idea
Set
of
them up.
how the series is gonna go. Maybe, maybe not. We don't really know, but we'll definitely get into all that. And yeah, welcome to episode 02. So, if we're ready, believe we're ready to start off, right?
I'm ready, Tony. What we got? What we got? What's the first item on the docket? Let's hear it.
All right. Ashton Jeanty, because I've been seeing stuff all week. All week, they're
You've
saying,
been seeing stuff. You've been seeing
yeah,
stuff. What have you been seeing?
on social media, man. I see all
What?
these
What exactly have you been
all these
seeing,
all
Tony?
these New England fans saying, you know, "Hey, Gentry, come to New England, bro. Let's draft Gentry."
You don't think he's
And
going to New England? I think that's a great pick for them.
I think you're crazy.
What? You don't
I
think they could
think
benefit from a running back?
well, this is the thing. Yeah, the Patriots need a running back. That's obvious. That's the one of the biggest holes we have.
Sure.
But we talked about it last week, and what are the two biggest pieces for an NFL team that you want to build around? It's the quarterback, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
then the offensive line.
Yep.
And running backs, man. I mean, yeah, like you've seen it last year. A player like Saquon and Derrick Henry, yeah, they make a big difference. And is Gentry going to be one of those guys? Potentially. I mean, personally, I think his hype is a lot bigger than what he's actually going to be. But
Wow.
even if we were to draft Gentry, dude, how good realistically are we setting him up, man? Because we're still not going to have an offensive line. I think Will Campbell is a better asset,
Hmm.
or Banks is a better asset to the Patriots than a running back right now. I really do. I think we need to fix up the offensive line first because we have a potential stud in Drake May, and protecting him I mean, last year he already got taken out of what, like 2 to 3 games in the season.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He
So
had a
it's
couple
like
concussions. Yeah.
and then partly is that's his fault cuz he needs to learn how to run with the ball and protect himself. But at the same time, I don't want him taking hits like that again all year.
Sure.
So I just feel like, yeah, Gentry, he could be an explosive playmaker, but really, who's he gonna run behind that offensive line?
Mm.
And we're still not. I mean, yeah, we could. I will say the draft is kind of deep for tackles this year, but I just feel like we're better off, for a running back, maybe waiting until the third, fourth round.
Well, the draft is pretty deep for running back too. There's a lot of
Right.
good running backs. Cam Scatterbo could be available later. I forget the guy's name, but he's from North Carolina. Really good running back. Probably will fall to the second round. So there's a chance you guys still get a running back later in the draft, and you can still fill that need at offensive line at number 4. So it's totally possible that the Pats don't pick Ashton Jeanty at 4. I think they will, just because I think that he's the type of guy that you don't get that type of value for that position. Like, he's pretty rare. This is a rare breed. Like, I mean, I swear to God, he had more rushing yards than anybody like ever in college. Um,
Yeah,
so
he broke that guy's record, didn't he?
I think he did.
He broke the
See,
record, yeah.
this is more of us having minimal knowledge about certain things.
I well, I know he broke the record. I just don't remember who the name was who had it originally.
Oh, right. Okay.
Um, but so you really think
I can't even
you're gonna
fucking
look?
look it up.
It's
My
all good.
fucking keyboard's broken or some shit.
I'll
But
find
yeah,
out.
either way, he had a historic season for a college running back. So it's like, I hate to throw it around, but it feels like a generational talent type of guy. It's hard to pass up on that at pick number 4. But if they don't go with Jeanty at pick number 4, where is he going to go then, Tony?
Well, first of all, you really think that Jeanty is worth a fourth, a fourth pick?
Probably, yeah. One of the
I
probably the
don't know,
best
man.
college running back
He,
to ever have a season,
nah,
dude.
nah.
I mean,
I think it.
historic numbers. I'm surprised he didn't win the
Yeah, but
Heisman. If it wasn't for
he,
Travis Hunter, he would have won the Heisman.
nah, no. Cam, they still would. Cam Ward would have won. It was Travis
Well,
Hunter,
yeah,
Cam
maybe, yeah,
Ward.
yeah. But he was up there, wasn't he? Was he? He must have been one of the finalists. He
Yeah,
was
he was a
definitely a finalist.
finalist, but he was
He's
like
a
fourth
Heisman
or fifth
finalist,
in
man. Like,
line.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like either way, he's in that same conversation with Cam Ward, with Travis Hunter. Those are the guys that are going. Cam Ward's probably going 1. Travis Hunter could be 3. Travis Hunter could be 4. The something that might prevent Jeanty from going number 4 is if Travis Hunter's still on the board. If the Giants take Travis Hunter at 3, then it's like you might, your options are then limited after that. If Travis Hunter's still on the board at 4, if the Giants pick Shadur or Abdul Carter at 3, then it's going to be tough for the Pats to not take Travis Hunter. In that case, Genty's then falling. It's just that there's such a vast array of top end talent at a couple different positions. You have Abdul Carter on the edge. You have 2 really good quarterbacks. I mean, Shadur is sliding, but you have one really good quarterback that's definitely going either 1 or 2. You have Abdul Carter, you got Travis Hunter, 2 defensive studs. Travis Hunter obviously can play both ways. You got Jeanty, you got really good offensive linemen. So it really could go anywhere. But let's just say the Pats don't take Jeanty. Where is he going to go?
I think he's gonna fall to around 10, maybe
All the way
even
to
later
10.
than that. Oh yeah.
Wow. Wow,
Uh,
really?
I think he falls to Chicago, possibly.
Chicago at 10. Wow. They do really need a running back too.
They
They
do,
really do.
and they have expressed interest in him. Um,
Yeah.
I haven't. So this is the thing, the Gen-C thing. I haven't heard. There's no reports from uh, ESPN about the Patriots favoring Gen-C. All the Gen-C rumors I'm hearing are from other New England fans. Because
Hmm.
they want him, because they
Not
realize
actual
that
people on the team.
Hunter. Right, right. They realize that
Hmm.
Hunter is not going to be available, and they're probably looking at it like, "Oh, Gen-T, next best playmaker. We want him." And I just think that's such a bad idea, man. As people can tell so far, I'm not sold on Gen-T. I mean, yeah, he was phenomenal, but he was playing at Boise State. The competition not nearly as
Hmm.
tough. He started off the year crazy, crazy, crazy last year. He started off his season. But even by the end of the season, you could tell he wasn't as explosive. And I just don't think he's NFL. I just don't think he's going to be as dominant in the NFL, man. I just don't.
It is true. The main criticism against Jeanty is he did play at Boise State. He wasn't really playing the top end talent. And once they got to the playoffs, he wasn't really able to carry that team through the playoffs. Like
Right.
the same way that, I know it's a different parallel because it's college and NFL, but Saquon was able to pretty much carry the Eagles all the way to the Super Bowl. Of course, they had help. They have AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts and all that, right? But Jeanty wasn't able to carry Boise State the way that Saquon's carrying Philadelphia, right? So you can't. But here's the thing: Jeanty did put out a statement, and I believe it was just like an open letter to all NFL teams heading into the draft, and it was something to that extent, like he wants to do what Saquon did. And it's kind of hard to believe that he's going to do that with an NFL team when he couldn't even do that with Boise State. Right?
Right.
Like they I don't think they made it. They might have won one round of the playoffs, right? Did they win one game in the playoffs, but they didn't even make it to the semifinals, right? Like
they didn't make it far.
Right. So
and they were mainly included on that list to make it into the playoffs because I feel like Jeanty. I mean, obviously the whole team
he
was
got them
decent,
there.
but he was a big part of it. Yeah.
He got
And
them to
then
the playoffs, but couldn't finish the deal.
as soon as they get to the playoffs, they face some decent competition. What happens?
Yeah.
He folds.
Crumble. So do you think that spells bad news for Chicago? Since he couldn't do that there, I mean, is it going to be any different when he gets to Chicago? I mean, their offensive line struggled last year too, so the same
yeah,
problem could be said.
I think he's gonna be
Although you do have
awful.
Ben Johnson.
I mean, I think he's gonna be bad. If Chicago, I think Chicago's gonna take him, but I think that's a mistake for him.
Really?
Yep.
Even with Ben Johnson at OC or
They have
at head coach
the
being
same thing as the
the best
Pats.
OC in the league last year?
They have no offensive line. I mean,
But who did they pick up? They made a few acquisitions at O-line. In free agency, they really beefed up their O-line, and you got Ben Johnson, who he was with Detroit. Detroit had the best O-line in the whole league. They had one of the best running games in the whole league, a two-headed running back room with Montgomery and Gibbs, and they just tore people up, man. Now think about Ashton Jeanty with DeAndre Swift as the pass-catching back as well.
you know what?
With Ben
That's
Johnson
a valid point.
drawing up plays. Caleb Williams at the helm too.
I feel like Jeanty's potential goes a lot higher with Swift to help him on the back, to back him up. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, he could be good, but I just don't see him being like that next Saquon. I don't see him being a running back like Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry, if you look at Derrick Henry's size, but I just don't see that.
He's not
with
Derrick Henry.
Jeanty. No.
He's not Derrick Henry. No.
And this is my problem with him. For this draft, people are treating him like he is going to be the next person like that. And I don't think so. I mean, I think, yeah, if he gets drafted to a team like Chicago with a great situation, maybe he could be a decent player, maybe a Pro Bowl running back one day. But even that, I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think he's going to take some time. I mean, Ben Johnson is great. Yeah, the Bears made some okay moves at offensive line. But even that, I mean, Ben Johnson's still a first-year head coach. I mean, how many times have amazing OCs become head coaches and just failed terribly?
Yeah, that's very
so
true.
You don't know. I think
it doesn't always translate. Yeah,
it's more probable that Jeanty is just going to be an okay player, and he's not going to be this dominant next generation great All-American running back like people think he is.
Wow, you're coming out with some controversial statements, Tony. I don't know. You might need to pump the brakes on some of this stuff because people are not going to like it.
Nah, no way.
I respect it. You speak your mind. You don't care. You don't care what anybody thinks.
Yes, sir.
You do not care.
Just wait until we move on. I got even more crazy stuff for you.
Oh, he's got more in the chamber. Everybody, watch out. All right, so what do we got next? I mean, we know how you feel about Jeanty, but yeah, what's our next topic?
Do you have any? You're all set, right?
Yeah,
got anything else to
I'm
say?
good. I feel like I'm confident with what I think. I still think he's going to the Pats. But I would love. It's honestly, it'd be cool to see him in Chicago because that's just a young team with a lot of good weapons.
Yeah,
Obviously,
it
they
is.
sucked last year, but this is a team that every year when the draft comes around, it's like, oh, Chicago's going to get a guy that's going to elevate them. Caleb Williams, Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky. They're like, this is the guy. Now it's like, okay, you're still up there. You could get someone that can really elevate you. And if they get Genty, that's a good move for them, I think. And they could probably also go O line too. They're kind of in a similar situation with the Pats. And Ben Johnson feels like the type of guy that could draft O line. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think that'd be a really interesting place for him to land because I think he will have a lot of help there for sure. And I think you're probably right that Genty's not a guy who's going to come in and just totally change any team right off the rip. I know the Giants were looking for a running back too, which feels kind of weird because of Tyrone Tracy and stuff. But maybe they need someone else, to kind of balance him out. I don't think that they're going Genty at pick 3. Definitely not. Um, but yeah, I don't
No.
know, man. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. I'm very excited to see it. And the draft is only a couple days away, so we will find out very soon. And we will have an episode coming out a couple days after the draft and recapping all that. So we will revisit this topic when that comes through.
Indeed. Indeed. And with that, last thing I'm gonna say is good luck, Jency. Hope you
Yeah,
go somewhere decent
really wish
and
him the best. I'd love to see him succeed
yeah,
on an NFL level.
yeah. All right. Well, I think now it's time to talk a little bit about the Patriots. Only because, as you guys know, we just started this podcast last week. So in the first episode, we didn't really talk too much about the Pats off season, and I think this is the best off season we've had
Mm,
since what, maybe like 2018, 2019. I mean, this is really the first off season that I can remember since Brady's left that Kraft was finally like, you know what, Vrabel, let's go out and spend that money.
mm.
And they actually did. They were saying that they were gonna spend the money for like ever since Brady left, and they just never did. It was every year. Kraft was like, you know what, we're gonna make improvements to this team. We're gonna do, and they just didn't do it until this year. So, I thought that's great, and not even just did they spend the money. I feel like they did it in a smart way. Um, they're still the team with the most cap space, I believe, even after this crazy offseason.
Mm.
They got Mike Vrabel, as we know, such a game changer. He's going to be such a game changer. And I just think we're talking about a whole new, different team than last year. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
so let's
Oh,
take a look here. So we're just looking at this ESPN article. So obviously you got Steph Diggs coming in, probably the biggest signing that we got out of free agency for the Pats. You got Harold Landry, linebacker. Um, Big addition. He was good in Tennessee. You got
oh
Robert
yeah.
Spillane coming over from Las Vegas Raiders. He was really good. He had a couple. I want to say he had some pick sixes. Did he have one against Mahomes or something like that? But I definitely seen him in the end zone before. Um, so that's a good pickup. Carlton Davis coming over from Detroit. Obviously, I believe he has a ring with Tampa Bay. So there's that as
Yep.
well. See,
Yep.
you got Morgan Moses, O tackle. Where did he come from? Morgan Moses. I've definitely heard that name before. So
He
pretty notable move.
came from the Jets, I believe.
Okay. Well, maybe that's not a great move then. Anybody coming from the Jets is probably not great. This is a big
He
one.
Milton Williams, yeah.
Milton
Uh,
Williams is huge. He
Real
was
quick,
huge in the Super Bowl for the Eagles.
yes. So he, in my opinion, that's the best. Stephon Diggs is the biggest name that we signed, but Milton Davis is the best
Dude,
move that they made.
what about Josh Dobbs though? I mean, Josh Dobbs is huge, man. The Pastronaut, you kidding me? Holy shit. I thought that said Kadarius Toney. Sorry.
Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins was a good addition. He's not going to be a playmaker. He's not a good wide receiver in terms of actually catching the ball and running routes, but he is a good blocker. So what?
Okay. I mean, he had some good plays for the Bills last year, but
No,
he's
like
playing with Josh Allen then, so that's an
yeah,
aspect, you know.
and he's also like he has some good plays, yeah, but he's not like that consistent wide receiver that's gonna go out there and do that for you every week.
Yeah.
So he is. I mean, he's decent. I mean, for what we have, our wide receiver room was absolutely terrible last year. I mean, Mac Hollins, at least, yeah, he brings
It's a
it up
good
a little
utility
bit.
guy.
Yeah,
It's a good utility guy to have him. He feels safe, you know. He's a good like number 3 option. You
right.
know, I guess would he be the number 2 option? Probably number 3
No,
option because you
probably
got
number
Steph
three.
Diggs, you got
Uh,
Pop Douglas, you got
yeah.
Keyshawn Booty. Listen, don't
Mm,
sleep on my man Booty. All right, don't
no,
sleep
no, I
on
don't
Booty, bro.
sleep on him. I just don't know. I don't know how he's gonna fare this year. We'll see.
But yeah, no, none of those guys really instill that much confidence. But definitely adding Steph Diggs and Mac Hollins as a couple of veterans. Diggs is the big one, but I think Hollins can definitely make a difference. I mean, he's known for just having his dogs out all the time, so there's that, I guess.
Wait, what?
Uh, Mac Hollins is the guy. He's been making headlines because he never wears shoes, man. He's just
Well,
barefoot everywhere he goes, walking into the stadium barefoot, warming up barefoot, like always. The only
well,
time
that's
he wears shoes is when he wears cleats, like on the field.
what happens if he steps on a nail? He's screwed.
Well, yeah, he just doesn't step on nails. Just watch where you're stepping, I think, is the main point. He likes to be grounded. He's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
with the earth and stuff like that, you know?
yeah.
Just how he is. And that's just the kind of energy that you want in your locker room. He's a
I
locker room guy, Tony. He's a locker room pickup.
I mean,
He's the
I
type of guy
guess.
you're not worried about his production on the field. You're worried about his toes and the energy he brings to the locker room because he
All right.
really is grounded and at one with himself, you know?
You know what? To each his own, I guess. Whatever makes him happy. Sure. Um,
I'll get a little off track here. I'll reel it in.
but real quick. So yeah, Davis best move.
You're
Moses
talking about Milton
probably
Williams, right?
Milton Williams. Yeah,
Yeah, you
Milton.
said
Yeah,
you
I'm
said
sorry.
Davis, but yes, Milton Williams. Yeah,
Milton Williams. My apology. Best move of the off
for sure.
season.
For sure.
Moses probably the most questionable one.
There were
One second. I'm sorry, my door opened.
it's all good, man. So I mean, just from my perspective, you got a couple really good defensive pieces. You got Harold Landry, Robert Spillane, Milton Williams. Huge, huge boost for your defense on 3 different levels, really. Um, and then obviously you have a couple good O line additions. You got Morgan Moses. You got Garrett Bradley. Garrett Bradbury was a little bit lower on that list. And he's been good with Denver. I believe he was with Denver. He got drafted by Denver, if I'm not mistaken. Fucking big dude. He becomes the starting center pretty much. So
Yep,
definitely a pickup.
which
And
was a
it's like
big, big question mark
yeah,
for us after last
and
year.
they're addressing the needs that they need to address, which is
Right,
like what you were talking about with draft stuff. Is they need to boost that O line. The O line was just terrible. So
right.
it's good to see that they're picking those type of guys up, right?
Hmm. And so, yeah, like Moses, I'm not sure how he's gonna turn out, but you know what? I'll give him the credit, man, because at least they're addressing, at least they're finally trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it just like especially after last year, man. We went into the off season with all this money and all these needs, and they just they were like they didn't want to spend the money, and it was like I understand
Yeah.
maybe you don't want to take a chance on some of these guys or you don't think anyone's available, but we know what we had wasn't gonna work.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you got to do something, and they finally did. Um, and Mike Vrabel obviously makes the biggest difference in the world. Phenomenal head coach, was wrongfully treated at Tennessee, wrongfully terminated. Good for us. Screw you, Tennessee. Thank you. And yeah. So this leads me to my next take. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Ryan, the 2025 New England Patriots will win the AFC East.
Wow. That is crazy. That is a crazy, crazy prediction, Tony. You really think so? Over
Yep.
the Bills?
Yep. What have the Bills done to make themselves a better team? I mean, yeah, we still got the draft coming up, but
Yeah, I don't. They didn't really add anybody, did they?
nope, no one.
Well, here's the thing, though: is I don't know if the Bills need to make themselves better in order to win the division. They just need to stay as good as they've been. The Pats
If
definitely need a big jump to be able to make it to division winners.
if you are
The
not
Bills don't need a big jump.
if you are not improving your team every year and trying to get better, you're getting worse in this league.
Hmm.
No team, even why do you think after the Pats won all those Super Bowls, they were still making moves and shipping out guys and changing around their
Of
lineups?
course. Yeah, of course. You always have to. Yeah.
And I don't like Sean McDermott really all too much.
Hmm.
And I just think their game plan is stupid. I think, like we talked a little bit about it last week. They're gonna go into the season, try to put it all on Josh Allen's hands, and I think it's gonna catch up to them.
Mm.
I think
Yeah, I mean, but
Vrabel.
go ahead.
Oh no, good. I was just gonna say I think Vrabel really makes that big of a difference. I think he's gonna whip that team into shape. I think he's gonna actually instill in them the lessons about wanting to be part of a team and giving it your all every day. And I've seen how he game plans in Tennessee. I think he's going to come into the season with a plan that puts them literally right there, like maybe like right behind Buffalo. I think they're going to end up winning the
Wow.
division, but
Wow.
I think a playoff spot is a definite next year.
And you're not biased at all. You're not biased.
I mean, to
I
be
can tell. I can
honest,
tell you're not
no,
biased.
I don't think I am, honestly. I really do think that they could win the division. I think it's gonna happen.
That is a bold prediction. Quite a bold prediction. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think they'll definitely be better for sure. Absolutely.
Oh well,
I think they'll be I think they'll go 9-8.
they have to
Yeah.
be better. If they're if they're worse than 9-8, I don't think ownership is ready. I don't think ownership is ready to have a season that's worse than 9-8 this year. I
What
mean,
do you mean by
I
that?
know it's I don't think Kraft is ready. I think it's if they go 8-9 or worse, I think everything hits the fan. I think shit hits the fan.
You
I mean,
think they
I know
just clean
it's
house?
maybe. I
Well,
know it's
but
Vrabel's first year, but
yeah, I mean, but they fired Mayo after 1 year.
right. And I just Kraft is just the type of person where I could see him cleaning house if things are really that bad.
So you think they need to have a winning season in order
That
for Vrabel
oh,
to
they
keep his
need
job?
to possibly,
Wow. Wow.
possibly.
He
I
is
don't
he
know.
is
I don't know
entering in
100% on that one, but
to a
possibly.
hot seat is what
He
you're
is.
saying.
He is.
His seat's already hot. He just got in that seat and it's hot.
I mean,
It's still
as
hot
well
from the
as
last guy.
most first year head coaches, they go into those situations already. Some are worse. I don't think Vrabel I don't think Vrabel is absolutely gonna be fired if he has a bad season. I think there
Hmm.
is a chance they give him another shot because it is Vrabel, and uh, Vrabel has a good relationship with Kraft, and so did Mayo. But the thing with Mayo is that he just sucked. He was a terrible coach. You could tell. He was
Hmm.
playing cards with the players on the planes. He wasn't giving his effort. Um, and Kraft isn't stupid. Kraft can tell, and I think that's why even after year one of Mayo, Kraft decided to let him go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of depends on like I think Vrabel could lose his job if the win if the sorry if they lose when they lose if it's really bad. If they're losing but they're really close and they're in it and
Right.
things out of their control is what causes them to lose, maybe I could see them cutting some slack, even though
You could
maybe
just
not
tell
because
last
really
year
there's
that
no
the
slack
team
to
was
be
a
cut.
disaster.
Yeah.
Like
I mean
you
if you're just getting blown out though, there's no like there's nothing you can't make any excuses then. But
mhm,
sometimes if you just put up a really good fight, man, and you do everything you can and you leave it all out in the field and the other team's just better, then you know, what are you going to do? Or if you got injuries and stuff like that that is out of your control really that's what causes the team to fall apart, then I could see them giving it more time. But it's just going to depend on kind of how things go. Cuz you could have a season that is, a season like this one where they're like what, 4 and 12 or 4 and 13 or
yeah,
whatever it
three
adds
and
up
three
to,
and 14.
3 and 14.
Mhm.
But I mean, any of those 3 wins are not convincing enough. You could have a season that is more like 5 or 6 win season, but you got a couple wins in there that really show promise from your guys, and it just makes you believe that there's something there and makes you buy in to what you guys got going on. But sometimes it's just like, man, you're getting blown out. And there's no room for any sort of belief or any hope in that. But if you're losing in close games and you're doing everything you can, then there might be more hope there.
Right. And we have to see improvement on the team. You can tell we're gonna be able to tell when they play next year,
Hmm.
how much better this team got,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be a big factor, I think. They
Hmm.
need to see improvement. If they don't, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know about Vrabel.
It's a win now league. Anywhere you
Yeah,
go,
absolutely.
you got to win
Absolutely.
right now. There is
Absolutely.
no, I mean, there's very, very little patience in the league right now. It's always right now. What have you done for me lately?
And
What are
that's
you
why
doing
the
right
the
now?
margin of error in the NFL is so slim, dude. That's why.
Hmm.
Because, these owners want these teams to win right away,
Yeah.
you know?
And it
Uh,
comes down to money too, because from an owner's perspective, if the team's not winning, the team's not making money. And what are they all about? They're rich as hell already, so they care about their money. So
mhm.
they need to win. That's how they make money, is having a winning team, having high ticket prices, being able to sell glizzies on the fucking in the stands, bro. If no
Yep.
one's at the game, ain't nobody buying your glizzies. Then you're not
And
making any money. So you need a
and
winning team.
some owners are even super greedy on top of that, where they wanna win, but they don't wanna spend their own money. So, but we won't
Sure.
get into that.
Sure.
We'll get into that
Yeah.
another day, but yeah. But yeah, so Pat's 2025 year, it's gonna be a good year. I personally believe that it's gonna be a good year. Even before last year, I knew that they were gonna suck. This year, I don't know. I think they're gonna be pretty good. So might have to not watch Red Zone and switch from Red Zone and switch to watching the Pats at one. So
That's the dream,
yeah,
right? Is to actually want to watch your team.
over Red
That's such
Zone.
a
Yeah.
great feeling, is to actually watch one of your team's games and watch the whole thing and be happy and be glad to watch it instead of watching Red Zone because something actually interesting is going to happen.
Yep.
And I say that only because I feel your struggle, even though I'm not a Pats fan, but I feel your struggle, for sure.
I just want it to be like it was for 20 amazing years when we had the GOATs, Brady and Belichick. And that brings me to my next point. Bill Belichick, the man. The man, Ryan.
He is the man. He the man, bro. He the man. He pulling
UNC
shotties
coach,
ain't me
as
and
we
you
all
can't
know.
pull.
Yeah,
What's
right.
up?
I said UNC coach now, as we know.
Yep, he's coaching
Made
at
the
UNC. I think they started right. They've been having some drills and practices and stuff. I think I saw him with the blue on.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Made that shocking switch from the NFL to college, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see coming. I thought he
Neither
I
did
thought
I.
he was always an NFL guy. And I don't know about you, but I don't know how well he's gonna fare in college. I mean, I just see him having a tough time deal with, these kids and the way he coaches and dealing with
Mm,
the NIL and the transfer portal
yeah.
and all that.
I think his coaching style is definitely more suited for NFL because it's more disciplined, it's more rigid, and it's going to be harder to get college age kids to buy into that type of system. But then you also have the other side of it where it's like even people our age, obviously I'm 23, I won't dox you for your age, but like we're similar age to college age kids. We just graduated and stuff. And, you know, we look up to Bill Belichick because we were kids when the Pats were doing their thing. Like we know how great he is. So there's probably kids that come in that are 20, 21, 22 in college at UNC that really, really look up to him. And they are going to be hanging on every word that he says. And, hopefully they listen to him and they take his advice and hopefully he can really instill some confidence in them. But I think the thing that is going to be probably hard is just getting college kids to buy into that discipline that you're going to need and changing your coaching style from an NFL coaching style to a college coaching style because it is such a different game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like more often than not, when we see college coaches go to the NFL, they fail pretty hard. And then
Mm,
we see not as much, but NFL coaches go to college and they're not as good. So,
mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't see. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how he does. I have faith in him. I think he's gonna at least turn the program around. Do I think they're gonna be national championship contenders? That's a really big stretch. I don't know. So
It's hard for me to say because I don't know. I'm not tuned in to college football really that much. I don't know who they got or where their you know strengths are. Um, I can't imagine that he's going to elevate them that much to the point where they win a
yeah,
championship. Probably
yeah.
not.
Me as well. Me as
Can't
well.
compete with like Georgia, Alabama. Like you're not on that level. You're not on Ohio State's level. Sorry,
Right,
you're just not.
right, right. But I don't know. Maybe his girlfriend, dude. Maybe his girlfriend will recruit all the big time.
Hey,
You know.
maybe, bro. Shit, I'm there. Sign me up. Give me a fucking scholarship, bro. Anyway, uh, I heard she was like doing his taxes or something. Like she's like
Yeah,
his
bro.
accountant. He's got her on payroll or something like that. Maybe that's
Yeah,
explains some of the stuff that's going on.
yeah. He like hired her. I don't know the
Yeah.
exact name of the position, but she's pretty much like his secretary. Like schedules all his
Mm,
meetings, and
sure.
she runs like his company or something like that, like
Yeah.
the Bill Belichick fucking foundation. I don't fucking know, but you know what I mean. But she's like
Yeah.
his personal assistant. So
Yeah. I can just, I mean, I'm sure. Didn't she go to freaking Harvard or something? I mean, she's definitely a educated woman, and I'm sure she has plenty of
well, she went.
capabilities to do what she needs to do and complete her jobs for him and stuff like that. But definitely, when you look at a situation like that from the outside, you got to think that there's some extracurriculars going on that are letting her get into that position, right?
Oh
Or
yeah,
there's a reason
absolutely.
why he's got her on payroll. Like it's just someone. I don't know. It's hard to comment on someone's like relationship and stuff, but there's a reason why like workplace relationships are like a no-no, right? You can't date someone that is underneath you. You can't date your boss because it's a conflict of interest. So if you're dating someone and then you're like, "Oh, you work for me now." It's just adding in like a dynamic of the relationship that is like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And if it works for them, it works for them. I'm super happy for them, but I don't know. It's just not something I would probably ever do.
Yeah.
But that's just me, man.
Well, I think that's everything for football.
Yeah, maybe we should move on from that one.
But yeah, so like we said already, draft's coming up this Thursday. So tune in next
Yep.
week for more in-depth analysis on the 2025 NFL Draft.
Yeah, man.
And without further ado, we got playoffs time for the NBA. So
Yeah,
round
baby.
one, midway through round one already, or in the start. I mean, we just started round one. So
Yep.
what do you think about the how game ones went?
Man, it was freaking pure cinema. All right. We definitely had some ups and downs. Some games were definitely more entertaining than others. But I am going to give you guys a quick rundown of every single game one from the NBA playoffs in 2025. We're going to get Tony's thoughts on everything. And I will take you guys through everything you need to know about every game one. We'll come back next week and we'll do another rundown after we've got a couple more games under our belt. Keep in mind, game ones don't decide the whole series. It's a 7-game series.
Oh,
Anything can
absolutely.
happen from this point out. Just because you won game one doesn't mean you're going to win the series. Just because you lost game one doesn't mean you lose. Even if I'm sure y'all have seen some of the headlines. Look at OKC. Look at Memphis getting totally dookied on by like 50 points. Doesn't mean that Memphis is out of it. They are not done. And Ja Morant said it after the game. He said, if they win the next game, it's 1-1. And that 50-point blowout doesn't matter. So definitely it's not over yet. And I think I hammered that point home pretty good there. But let's move into the first game of the NBA playoffs, the Pacers and the Bucks. So I actually sat down and watched this game almost all the way through. It got to a point where I was like, okay, clearly the Pacers are going to win. Nearly a 20-point victory for the Pacers. So it was pretty lopsided. And I'm watching and I'm just, the thing you notice, the Pacers are playing a team game. You have let me just check my stats here. So Indianapolis finished the game with 6 players that were double-digit scorers. Tyrese Halliburton had 12 assists. He only had 10 points. Halliburton is arguably the best player on their team, and he was not even the top scorer. I believe the top scorer was Siakam. I don't know why I don't have it written down. But you had Miles Turner hitting threes. You had Siakam knocking down shots. You had Nemhard. You had what's the other dude's name? Motherfucking fucking the other guy. You had freaking TJ McConnell coming off the bench and getting a couple buckets. So Indianapolis played a full team game, whereas Milwaukee really just had Giannis.
Yep.
Giannis had 36 points and 12 rebounds. Meanwhile, I want to say they only had one other player that was in double digits. And I think the second best player was like 15 points, maybe 12 points or something like that. So a huge drop off between Giannis as the primary scorer and anybody who's going to be the secondary option. It's just a huge drop off. You got Kyle Kuzma. I'm sure you've seen the stat. He logged 20 minutes in the game. He had 0 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds, 0 steals,
Oh
0
my
blocks.
God.
He
Jesus.
did take a few shots. I want to say he was like 0 for 10 or something. I don't quote me on that, but he definitely took shots, missed shots. He played 20 minutes and recorded 0 stats. So that just kind of goes to show how lopsided it was. The Pacers completely blew him out. And Giannis really wasn't getting any help. He was getting fouled quite a bit. And the fans in Indiana were counting. Whenever he would go to the free throw line, they would count 1, 2, 3, because he takes so damn long to shoot the ball. So they were getting in his head. Obviously, he put up a good stat line, but he really needs some help. If the Bucks want to win this series, Giannis needs some help. But luckily enough, Damian Lillard should be coming back for Game 2. That is totally going to change the dynamics of the series and might give the Bucks a slight a boost and a chance in this series. So that's my little recap. Tony, you got any thoughts on this series and this Game 1?
We said it before the series started. This one's gonna be close. You really could make it go back and forth between the Pacers or the Bucks. Who do you think is gonna come out on top? But you nailed it right on the head, and you even called it. You said last week the Pacers, they facilitate the ball really well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now we know Milwaukee, they won a couple years ago as the 5th or the 4th seed,
Yeah.
but this is the big difference. Giannis had the supporting cast back then.
Mm-hmm.
Not really so much now. You definitely need Dame back. You need Dame back, and you need him to play well. And and that's the only way I believe that they can get ahead of the Pacers. Um, so he is coming back for game 2, as you said, and that's the reason why I think the series ends up close. Um, I think I think the Pacers still take it. I'm gonna say
Absolutely.
Pacers in 7 or 6 maybe.
I don't even think it goes to Game 7. I think I'd say Pacers in 5. I think the Bucks might steal a game, but even with Dame coming back, I feel like it's not going to be enough. But I don't know. He totally does change the dynamic. So I'm going to stick with Pacers in 5, maybe 6. But I don't think it's going to Game 7. Definitely not, in my opinion. And that's just if Dame can stay healthy once he's back too, because there's totally a possibility that he's getting rushed back or he gets re-injured. So you never really know what's going to happen. But
That's a good
definitely
point.
Giannis needs some help. He needs some help if they want to win,
Mhm.
for sure. So let's move on. We have the Nuggets defeating the Clippers in the overtime thriller game. What a game. I'm sure y'all have seen the recaps of it because it has been a couple days now. But basically, to recap, the Nuggets were down by 1, I believe. Let me just make sure it's right in my head. Uh, Russell Westbrook, boom, hits a 3, puts them up by 2. James Harden comes down and gets a layup to tie up the game, sends it to overtime. I believe it was 98-98 at the end of regulation. And the Nuggets just came out firing in overtime, scored 14 points when the Clippers only got 12. And Russell Westbrook had he had the 3 to put them up at the very end of the game, and really was the reason why they sent it to overtime. But he had a chance to win the game in regulation, actually, at the end, and he couldn't even get a shot up. He had another layup that he went up, and he didn't get it to go in overtime. And at the very end, the Clippers had a chance, on an inbound, and Russ had a great defensive play to get possession back and basically secure the victory in overtime. So we got an old Russell Westbrook that is kind of has some moments and kind of doesn't. But basically, LA was up for the majority of the game, and
Yeah.
Denver just surged back at the end. Harden had 23 points and 11 assists. So it just goes to show how good the Clippers are offensively, and they're distributing the ball. They're scoring well. You got Kawhi, who had 23 or something like that. And you had Jokic on the other side, who was 1 rebound away from a triple double. He had 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 12 assists. But the big story of the game, especially towards the end, was the turnovers for the Clippers. The Clippers had 20 turnovers in the game, and
Oh,
they really cannot function with turnovers like that. It really can't. It can't happen if they want to win the series. But the main takeaway I have from this is you can never count the Nuggets out. They have the best player in the world, and they are battle tested. This is a team with a lot of players on it, including Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, obviously Jokic. They've been to the finals before and they've won the finals before. They have playoff experience. They've been around the block. Obviously, James Harden has as well, and Kawhi has as well. So you got the same thing on the other side of the ball, but just you could probably say the same for both teams. They're both very experienced, so you really can't count either one of them out. I think this game just goes to show how close this series really is going to be. Any thoughts, Tony?
yeah. I think Nuggets and the Clippers again is another series that's going to be really close. 7 or 6 games. Uh, I don't know. I really don't know who is going to come out on top. Before the series started, I had the Clippers because I just don't see. I didn't see how you could go from firing your head coach 3 days before the playoffs to winning a playoff series. But
Mm.
like you said, man, they have Jokic, and you really can't count them out, I guess, because they came into game one and came back, battled back, ended up winning that game. So, uh, yeah, I don't know.
You
It could
can't
go
count
either
them
way,
out.
man.
You can't count them
Yeah,
out.
you really can't.
Absolutely, it can go either way. The Clippers were probably the favorites, even though they're technically the lower seed. A lot of people did think the Clippers would win this series and this game, but you can't count Denver out. And they've done this before where they kind of lull you to sleep and make you get comfortable, and then they kind of get you right at the end.
Hmm.
Um, so I could definitely see this going to game 7. I'd say my prediction for the rest of the series, it's so tough. I wanna give it to Denver. I want to, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll say I think Denver's gonna win. I think the Clippers will make it really close. I think it's going to game 7 for sure.
All right, that's definitely valid.
So on to the next game. We are going to talk about the Knicks a little bit. So the Knicks obviously had a comeback win over the Pistons. It felt more like a choke job by the Pistons than it felt like a really strong comeback by the Knicks. Obviously, it is both of those things, but it just felt more like the Pistons were not ready for the spotlight. So in that moment, so they went into the fourth quarter, the Pistons did, with an 8-point lead, and they gave up a 21-0 run against the Knicks. Jalen Brunson finished with 34 points. You got Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby both had 23. So you had three people on the Knicks that were over 20 points. Obviously, Brunson over 30. And the big story was Cameron Payne down the stretch in the fourth quarter was the guy who ignited that run, that 21-0 run, to take the lead and eventually win the game for the Knicks. He was just hitting clutch shots in the fourth quarter. He finished with 14 points, which isn't a crazy stat line. It doesn't really pop off the stat sheet, but it's more about the importance of those buckets and when they came, which was late in the fourth quarter, and really is what what set the tone for the Knicks in the end. Tobias Harris was the leading scorer for the Pistons with 25 points. Cade Cunningham had 21. But OG Anunoby, the other story is OG Anunoby really did a good job of containing Cade Cunningham. He really shut him down. This is a game where if you're a Pistons person, you want Cade Cunningham to drop 30. You need him to drop 30. He has to get 30. And especially Tobias Harris scoring 25 points is kind of crazy. He doesn't do that, right? He averages like 13 points a game or something like that. So for Tobias Harris to score 25 and you only put up 21 to help him out, it's like, Cade, you're the young star on this team. You really need to step up. OG Anunoby did a great job of shutting him down. And I think that kind of goes to show that the Knicks really do have the advantage in this series because they've also been battle tested too. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the Nuggets. The Knicks have been here before. They've been to the playoffs at least last year, and I believe before that as well. So the Knicks are a perennial playoff team, and the Pistons haven't been to the playoffs in 6 years. A lot of the guys on this team haven't played a playoff game. They don't know what it takes. And something that Steph Curry was actually talking about after the Warriors won is he was talking about the mentality that they had to have in order to win that game. And he was saying, just understand that it's a 48-minute game. The other team's going to go on runs. They're going to get their shots up, but it's going to come and go. It's ebb and flow. That's how these games work. So the Pistons probably, I think, just caved into that moment, and they're like, "Oh crap, we're giving up buckets," and probably it just shook their mental a little bit. They haven't been there enough to have the mental fortitude to kind of stay resilient in that moment. So I think the downfall of the Pistons in this game was their lack of experience, and hopefully they can learn from this and build on it in the next couple games. And I think maybe they steal 1 or 2, but I'm still taking the Knicks in 5. So what do you think, Tony?
I think when you talk about how much NBA playoff experience makes a difference, you watch this game, I think it's a perfect representation. Um, I mean, that game just showed you all you need to know. Like you said, the Knicks, they're battle tested. They already know. They know what they got to do. The Pistons, not so much. And this is one of the series I completely agree with you. I think Knicks take it in 5. Um, Pistons could steal a game. Um, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's just the Pistons. They had a very good turnaround this year. Definitely, but they do still have a lot. They have a lot to work with. Before they're one of the top teams, obviously, and it's gonna take them some time.
Yeah.
And this series is very easily predictable, I would say. A lot of people knew this coming into the series for the Pistons. So there's really no real shockers here. We knew, the Knicks have Jalen Brunson. We knew Brunson was gonna do his thing, and I didn't really see OJ and Anunoby completely locking them down like that, but good for him.
Good for
What?
him, he says.
Yeah, good for him, man. I mean, dude killed it. You know,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
killed it game 1. Hopefully he keeps it up because they need it. But I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't
absolutely.
I didn't think he was gonna be that big of a factor, but I knew he was gonna make a difference, but not to that
And he
extent
wasn't
he was in game 1.
Yeah, he didn't completely shut down Cade. I think that some of the buckets Cade got were he was on other defenders, but when it was OG, that was really the story. Was OG was giving him some grief. Um, Definitely. So that's the matchup that they want. So going forward, probably a good way for the Pistons to try to win or steal a game at least is get Cade on anybody else. Anybody else. get a
Yeah.
switch, get a mismatch, and exploit that when it comes up.
Yeah.
But I think this is a character building loss for the Pistons, even if it goes into next year. And if they can continue on the success that they had this year, make the playoffs again next year, um, I
They'll have a
think it'll
way
be a
better
good
shot.
chance for them to, yeah, they'll have more experience, right? And they'll be, like we keep saying, battle tested. They'll be ready next year when the time comes, and a lot of their guys that are coming back are going to have that playoff experience and know what to do when it comes to that time. So
Yep.
next is probably one of the bigger games of the weekend, and a big shocker
Oh yeah.
is the Timberwolves taking game one in LA, beating Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, and the Lakers 117-95.
What a
Holy
shocker,
crud.
man. I mean,
Crazy.
this is
Go
another
ahead.
one.
You got something crazy.
This is another one. You kind of called it last week. You said, Ant
I
Edwards,
did, didn't
bro.
I?
And
Didn't
what
I?
he went off too, right? He scored like 30, 40 points or something like that.
He had 22 points. He had
Oh,
22
22.
points.
I'm
He
sorry.
didn't really go off. Um, I mean, so here's the thing is he actually, I have the stat line right here. So Anthony Edwards, he didn't have a crazy game points wise, but I believe he set a personal playoff record for assists. He had 9 assists in this game. He had 8 rebounds and he had 22 points. So he had
Okay.
a
Yeah.
full stat sheet and a near triple double. And the big thing for me is the 9 assists,
Yeah, me
because
too.
Ant was able to find other people and distribute. And that's a huge thing for them. You had Jaden McDaniels with 25 points. He was the leading scorer for the Timberwolves. And hey, he's a good player, but he's not the guy that you expect to be the number one guy leading them in scoring. So Ant being a distributor for this team, because obviously he's the guy that is getting the looks defensively. He needs to be able to get the ball out to other people and distribute and trust his teammates. And I think he's doing that better this year as a whole than he ever has. And definitely, obviously, he's proving it in the playoffs that he is doing better at trusting his team. And you listen to him in the interview after the game. And it, to me, watching the interview with Anthony Edwards, it's like he didn't even, I mean, maybe there's other stuff going on, but it feel like he didn't even want to be interviewed, because he was just talking about his teammates the whole time and how he was trying to motivate Jaden McDaniels, and how he's telling Jaden McDaniels, you're the guy. You got to take those shots. You got to believe in yourself, this and that. So Anthony Edwards, I really think he's a young star in this league, but the more he matures and the more he grows, he's starting to um, uh, bring up the people around him and make everybody around him a lot better. So once again, this is a good team win for the Timberwolves. They were forcing LA to play the kind of basketball that they like to play. They did not let LA have their way. Luka did have 37 points. So Luka, they really didn't have much of an answer for. But you had for the Timberwolves, they set a playoff team record with 21 3-pointers made. So they were firing from beyond the arc. I believe Jaden McDaniels was perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. You had Naz Reid coming off the bench with 23 points, and he made 6 3-pointers, which was, I believe, a playoff career high for him. So here's the thing. Luka had 37 points, but he only had 1 assist.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
that's Luka.
right. And that's
But
Luka. That's kind of the brand of basketball that he plays. You know, he's the guy, and obviously he had 37 points, so he's contributing. It's not like it's not working, but obviously it wasn't enough for them to win. And you really just want to see him be a little bit less selfish, especially when you have guys like LeBron and Austin Reeves on the team. So for the Lakers to have success, first of all, you need Luka to be slightly less selfish. Obviously he's still a great scorer, so you want him to have the ball in his hands, but I think you can probably get more open looks for other guys like LeBron. LeBron only had 19 points in this game. I mean, decent stat line for any other player. He had 3 blocks too, which were huge blocks. And just he had a crazy chase down block, and it was like, dude, this guy's 40 years old. Like, how is he doing this, right? But LeBron can't have only 19 points in the game. You need more from LeBron. You need him to come out and have a better game, and you need Luka to be able to feed off LeBron. It really didn't feel like they had the chemistry, and it feels like obviously they're probably still working on it, right? Because he's still a new addition to the team. But you just didn't feel like they were clicking the way that they have in certain games that they've won this season. So that's just something that they need if they're going to continue to play well and win this series. They really need to work on their communication and just their cohesiveness on offense. The Lakers do.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
really great win for the Wolves to steal game 1, and that was in LA too, so that's even bigger
Yeah,
for them.
yeah, that's
Huge,
huge.
absolutely huge for them.
So, you'd say you would say last year when we were talking about Anthony Edwards, the biggest question mark for him was the maturity, right? Would you say? So I think that
Probably, yeah, because I
him,
think last year was his first time in the playoffs
yeah. So yeah, and last year he went off. Like we saw him go off, and we saw him be this
against Kevin
amazing
Durant.
scorer, right?
Yep.
But I think the only thing pulling him back from like that conversation to be up top with like Jokic and Shea and Tatum was kind of his like maturity and like
Mm,
is he able to lift the rest of his team up? And
yeah.
I feel like last year he didn't really show it too much in the playoffs, but now he is. So it's
Yep.
like after this year, man, I think Anthony Edwards, we're gonna have to include him like in that top 3, top 4 right there, man.
Yeah,
Because
dude.
if he continues to play like this, dude, and especially if they end up winning the series over LA, I think that's just huge for him.
Yeah. He's
I mean,
23.
yeah, he's so
He's
young.
23 years old. He's my
Yeah, he's
age,
so
dude.
young.
He's
Yeah,
as old
yeah,
as me.
that's fucking crazy, man.
It,
Yeah,
it is it is crazy just on a personal level, but like just the fact that he's 23 years old, he's got so far to go. He's already so amazing. And the thing, like you're saying, is his maturity and his leadership are probably the things that can be improved. And I think he's working on those things already. You can see it.
yeah,
Like I was saying,
yeah.
he's elevating his teammates. He's being more of a distributor and just giving them a good team win against a really good LA Lakers team.
Hmm.
So huge. I mean, and he did it last year in the playoffs too. I think they knocked off the Suns. They swept the Suns, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe they beat the Nuggets in game 7 and knocked the Nuggets out too. Um, so huge Anthony Edwards fan right here. And just happy to see him growing and becoming better and doing amazing things and providing wonderful entertainment for us as NBA fans and just sports fans in general. So,
And again, we called it last week. What did we say about the Lakers? They don't have the depth. They don't have the depth to compete with some of these other teams. And again, it showed game 1. Luka,
yeah.
37 points. What did that get you? What did
Hmm.
that get you? So again,
Very top heavy because I believe that um, Luca, LeBron, and Austin Reeves were the only double digit scorers for the Lakers.
yeah,
And I think Rui Hachimura was the next highest scorer, and he had like 9 points. So it's like, sure, you got that big 3, which is awesome, phenomenal, right? And then who else you got? You got freaking Jackson Hayes. You get Rui Hachimura. No one else on that team is really scaring anybody. Um, you need Luka to carry the team, and you need LeBron to step up a little more. Austin Reeves can score 17 points, and I'll be okay with that as his contribution, but I need more from LeBron and Luka. I mean, Luka's Luka, so
Well,
I need
Luka's
more
gonna
from
score
him
no matter what, but you need him to
passing
step up
wise.
and you need him to pass the ball and
Yeah.
you need him to play better D.
Yep. That
Yeah.
too. Oh man, Anthony Edwards hit this crazy three on Luka, and he went boom. I think it was so funny because Anthony Edwards splashes a three like right in Luka's face, and then he like goes like this, but then he kind of like opens his hand up because I think he's trying to not do like a gun because that's like a
Yeah.
big no no. So he
Yeah.
like kind of does like this, like a little like Spider-Man thing or something. And I'm like, what is he doing? You know, I don't know. It's just funny because I think he's trying not to do a gun. But yeah, super
S-
entertaining game. Super
Real quick,
entertaining.
before we move on,
Yeah.
do you think that Minnesota still ends up stealing the series now? Because I mean, a game 1 win in LA, that is huge, man. You know,
Oh man,
even if they
it is
lose the
huge.
next one, they go into home with one series tied 1-1.
Um,
I mean, I don't know. I think they'll end up figuring it out. I think the Lakers will still win.
it does feel like this first game was it doesn't feel like this
It
is the
feels like an
norm.
anomaly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like this is how every game's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know JJ Redick's gonna have some adjustments. You know that LeBron's not getting held to 19 points every game.
Right,
You know
right.
he's gonna get his. And one of these times those blocks are gonna come at a very pivotal moment. Um, I think I would take the Lakers, and I think it's gonna go to game 7.
I was gonna say Lakers in 7. Lakers in
It's
7 for
definitely
me.
I wanna say Wolves, though. I wanna say Wolves in 7.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Wolves in 7 just because I like it. Just because I like
Alright.
it. I like rooting for the underdog, the under wolf, if you will. Yeah, man, I would love to see it, and I'm gonna make that my official prediction right here, right now on the show. So
Alright, man. We'll see. They
if
definitely got a fair shot,
it doesn't
so
happen, then sorry, my bad.
no.
Next one, we don't need to spend too much time on this one. It
Oh my
was pretty
gosh.
sad. Oklahoma City beat Memphis by 51 points. Can you believe it? Of course you can. So obviously, historic. I want to say the on the broadcast I was watching, the biggest blowout was like 58 points, and so obviously this is only 7 points away from that. It's one of the biggest blowouts in NBA playoff history. So absolutely insane, historic blowout. I see OKC sweeping Memphis in this series. I don't think
Absolutely.
they won't all be blowouts this big, but I really think it'll be 20-point wins after 20-point wins at least, right? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, it was
OKC in
just
4, no questions. OKC in
yeah,
4.
yeah, and
Dude,
that's all we really have to say, low key.
I was sitting down yesterday at Easter with the fam, you know, watching this game, bro, and
Yeah.
it was the middle of the second quarter, and they were down by, like, 40 already, and we were all
Yep.
just like, "This game is over. This game is
Yep.
over already, man." And
Yep.
the only thing I'll have to say about this game, and this just if I'm a Celtics well, I am a Celtics fan, but if you're a Celtics fan, you should be
Hypothetically.
shitting yourself right now, dude, because they look scary. Um, and the biggest thing was that you're watching this game, Shea, he had like 6 points in the first half, and they were winning by 40. They didn't even
Mm-hmm.
need Shea.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Shea finished with 15 points.
Yeah, he didn't have a good night. He
I don't think
didn't
yeah,
shoot the ball well.
he wasn't even a top 3 scorer for them.
Yeah,
I think Chet
yeah.
had 19. Aaron Wiggins was their leading scorer with 21 off the bench.
Yep.
And they had, I want to say they also had 6 or 7 guys that were all in double digits scoring. So it doesn't matter. Take away SGA, take away Jalen Williams, take away the other Jalen Williams. It don't matter. Someone's going to feast on you. The only person, their entire roster had at least 2 points except for Alex Caruso. Everybody scored. It didn't matter who it was. Everybody scored for OKC. It was insane. And the other thing is their defense.
Oh
Scoring
my gosh.
131, scoring 130 is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Holding a team to 80 points is crazy. Doing
Yeah.
both of those things in the same game, it's
Wild.
unbelievable. It's unheard of, right?
Wild.
So
Yeah.
they're just, you're watching and just the defense is just swarming. That's the word I feel when I see it, is they are swarming to the ball. If anybody's open for a half a second and they get the ball passed to them, someone's closing in and they are there like instantly. You don't have any time to shoot the ball when OKC's guarding you because they're all over the place. They're so quick. They are all over the place. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. The
Yep.
only Ja was the only Grizzly that really could do anything, and he had 17 points. He was their leading scorer. Desmond Bane only had 9. You know, guys like Zach Edey was getting a lot of feeds on the inside, and I think he only had 4 points or something like that. So it really was just nothing was happening for the Grizzlies. They were getting no looks, and the looks they were getting were not falling. It was rough. It was rough.
Yeah. And to close it off, I'm sorry, Memphis. Aja. I know you said the series ain't over, buddy, but I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
think it's over.
It's
I
the
don't
right
see him.
mentality
I
to
don't
have,
see him even pulling out a game.
but no,
Yeah,
I don't think they win a single game. They're getting swept for sure. For
yeah.
sure, they're getting swept. Let's move on to another series that will likely be a sweep. Boston
Uh, go. Sorry.
outlast
Go ahead.
Orlando.
Sorry.
So,
Go ahead.
um, no, if you got something to say, man, sure, jump in. But so this was, to me, it really felt like a defensive battle.
Yeah,
Obviously,
definitely.
two huge like defensive teams. Orlando is, I want to say they had the number 1 defense or something like that. Or I think the stat that they said during the play-in was blocks. Orlando gets a lot of blocks, and I want to say they only had 5 blocks in this game, which is lower than their average. Um, Orlando was up by 1 point going into halftime, but a huge third quarter from Derek White and Drew Holiday. Derek White was the leading scorer in this game with 30 points for Boston,
D
at least.
White.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. So Paolo Banchero had 36 points and Franz Wagner had 23 for Orlando. But other than that, nobody really did much. So it was definitely a big day for Boston defensively, holding them to only 86 points. Orlando has a good defense. 103 is a respectable number, but they really just had no offensive firepower outside of Banchero. So then the other side of it is Orlando's defense was pretty much doing its job against guys like Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who had 17 and 16 points respectively. But you cover the number 1 and the number 2 guy. Now you have to worry about the number 3 guy and the number 4 guy and the number 5 guy. So you got guys like Derek White and you got Peyton Pritchard, who had 19 points. Derek White had 30. Pritchard had 19. They're going
Six
off
man of the year,
because
baby.
6 man of the year, exactly. And it just goes to show how deep Boston is, and they're not going to be stopped. I mean, this series, I could maybe see Orlando taking a game.
I
Um,
think Orlando's gonna steal a game. I think it's gonna be 4-1.
it could be. It could be.
Um,
I think Boston
because
sweeps.
I don't know, man. They came out that first half, Boston, Magic were winning at the half.
Yeah,
Boston
they
just
were.
looked choppy, bro. They just looked sloppy. And sometimes Boston gets like that in the playoffs, and I didn't see any
Yeah,
big difference to make me think that, they're like OKC, that they're gonna sweep this team. I mean,
it.
sure, it's definitely possible, but still believe that Orlando will take a game somewhere.
I think it's possible that they do. I don't think they will. I wouldn't be extremely surprised if it ended 4-1. There's
4-1,
no
yeah.
way Boston loses the series. I would
Yeah, oh,
put
yeah.
every dollar
Oh,
I have
yeah.
that Boston's going to win.
Oh, yeah.
Orlando could take a game.
Right.
That's it, and I think it would just come down to if if somebody like Kristaps or Drew Holiday has to sit out for a game or something like that, I could see Orlando taking a game. Um, it goes back to what we said last week, is just the health for Boston is going to be huge. I think Kristaps only played like 23 minutes in this game, so his health is always a concern. He never really plays super heavy minutes. And I want to say he only had like 4 or 6 points in this game. So he wasn't a huge factor, but Drew Holiday, uh, all 9 of his points came in the third quarter. He shot 3 threes, and he's like, that's all I got to do. Right. He disappeared for the whole rest of the game, but he contributed to a big run that Boston went on in the third quarter that put them ahead by around 10 points. And they really held on to that type of lead for the whole rest of the game. End up winning by 17. It's a pretty decisive victory, but the first half of the game was very close. And it's not what you want to see. It's not the way that OKC just totally dominated the whole game. Boston, it took them a half to get comfortable and really sort of remember who they are and be like, oh wait, yeah, we can do this.
Exactly.
Um, so I don't know. Yeah, it also seems like a thing where it's Paolo Banchero carrying the Magic, and it's like you can't do it on your own. You
Mhm.
need, and you got Wagner doing some stuff too, but you need somebody like Wendell Carter to start hitting some corner threes like he's known to do. You need, I don't know who the fuck else. Like
Anthony
they don't.
Jones.
Yeah, you need Anthony Black or somebody like that to do something off the bench. Like they need a spark from somebody outside of their starting lineup. And that's really the advantage that Boston has because they have a deep lineup,
Yeah.
whereas
Yeah, they're super
Orlando
deep.
doesn't. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the big advantage that Boston has in the series. I think they sweep, but Orlando
And
could steal a game.
the Magic have, like, even, like, after they finished the season, they were, like, almost, like, dead last in, offensive rating. So, like, the offense as a whole, it's been their defense that's even gotten them to this point,
Yes.
and that gives them the best chance to maybe steal a game, probably.
Right. But Lord knows Boston can score.
Yeah,
They can definitely
absolutely.
score if they get hot from 3. They could,
Yeah.
if they have something, they could, if they get hot from 3 early and they pull away early and then they just go blow for blow the rest of the way, like you're not going to keep up with them. Orlando
Mhm.
cannot keep up with them offensively. They can't.
Right, right.
So let's move on to another 1 seed versus an 8 seed, another blowout. The Cavs take the game against Miami. Honestly, this is the game that I was like least interested in, and I watched the least of this game.
Yeah,
But
me
I
as
do
well.
have, yeah, I mean, I don't like either one of these teams. Uh, Kind of figured Cleveland was going to win anyway, so
Yeah.
it's like whatever. But Donovan Mitchell had 30 points and 4 steals. Darius Garland had 27, and Ty Jerome off the bench had 28 points, which is wild. People are coming out like, "Oh, Ty Jerome, like where did this guy come from?" Don't act like he hasn't been doing this all season.
I was
Ty
gonna say
Jerome,
he's been like this all season, right?
he's
He's
been
had a decent
huge for
amount of
them
games for them.
off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I know this because I picked him up in fantasy basketball, and I was like, oh, who the hell is this guy? But he was kind of on and off. It's kind of hard to tell when he's going to go crazy, but he's very efficient from three, and he knocks him down, man. He knocks him down. It's huge. You also have Jared Allen with a double-double. He had 12 points, 11 rebounds. So Jared Allen had 8 rebounds in the first quarter. He finished with 11. How do you only have
Jared
you had
Allen.
yeah, how do you have
He
3 rebounds for the whole rest of the game? I was like
yeah,
kind of
that's
a
weird.
weird kind of interesting stat because that was his career high in a quarter, 8 rebounds. And then you only have 3 the rest of the game. I don't know if it was just because they were winning and they took him out or something or what. I don't know because, like I said, I didn't really watch the game that intently. Bam Adebayo had 24 points. Tyler Hero had 21, but just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So I don't have much to say about that one. It's kind of just what we expected. The Cavs are still a very good team, even though they've had some struggles towards the end. They're still a very good team. They can definitely beat Miami. I think they'll sweep, and we'll see who they play next.
Yeah, I same here. I don't have much to say about this one. I think Cavs sweep as well, or Miami takes maybe one game.
Yeah.
Because Bam and Tyler, you really need them to you really need those two guys to go off the series, and they had good games game one, but even good games still isn't enough to beat the Cavs. So I just don't see them. I don't see how they can even maybe win a game or two.
If they had playoff Jimmy, I'd give him a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they did, I would give
Yeah,
him a chance. But let's move on to the team that does have
does have
playoff
them.
Jimmy because Golden State
Golden
upset
State.
number 2 Houston Rockets. I mean, it wasn't really an upset because I feel like a lot of people were kind of expecting Golden State to come out and win.
Yeah,
And listen, I also said this. I predicted
you
this too.
did. You
So
did.
I know ball, Tony. Don't ever tell me I don't know ball. I mean, you could tell me that. There are definitely things I don't know, but so this it was funny because after the game and watching the kind of like TNT guys, Ernie Johnson said this stat. There were 1,200, more than 1,200 NBA games played this year. Can you guess, Tony, how many of those games did both teams score less than 100 points?
Oh my god. I honestly
Because this is one
have
of them.
no idea. I'm assuming it's low. It has to be low
It
then
is a
if he's
very low
bringing that low.
number. Out of 1,200, over 1,200.
All right. Can I get a hint? Is it in the triple digits or no?
No,
Okay.
it is
So
less than
I'm gonna say 7. 7
no,
games.
no. It's a little more than that. 30,
Okay. 30?
30.
Okay.
There have been 30
That's still
games this
crazy
season.
out of 1,200 though.
Yeah, it's just it's rare. At least the winning team probably most of the time scores over 100.
Yeah.
So it is pretty rare that this happens. So this one, but watching the game, like it didn't feel like a defensive battle, the same way that some of these other games did. Um, because you did have some good shooting from Curry, and you had some excellent offensive production from Jimmy Butler down the stretch to kind of seal the deal at the end. I want to say it was a 4-point game with only a couple minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was up by 4 points, but they just pulled away because Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, man, he was hitting them. He was letting them down. And I had some notes here. So the thing is, and they were talking about this after the game, is Houston plays a really physical game. They did have a lead in the start, and it looked like they were going to come out swinging, and they did come out swinging. They played very physical. Huge, crazy dunk by Şengün. Like you should see the highlight of this dunk is wild. But they didn't keep that physicality all the way through. And the main story at the very end, you have Curry with 31 points. You have Jimmy Butler with 25 points and 5 steals. The turnovers were huge for the Rockets, or for the Warriors, I should say. They're in a bad way for the Rockets. You had Jalen Green shot 3 for 15, 20%. And you had Fred VanVleet, who was 4 for 19,
Oh,
21%.
jeez.
Terrible, terrible shooting night for the Rockets. And that's pretty much the difference in the game. I mean, turn 5 of those shots into makes, and you're
That kind
tied.
of that kind of gives me that kind of gives in my mind that kind of gives the Rockets hope though, because the Rockets aren't gonna shoot that bad every night.
Sure.
Um, so I feel like, yeah, you lost game one, but you had a bad shooting night, and I think the series is gonna be close. Um, I will say, dude, I was so wrong about Golden State. I said last week that the Rockets would beat them, and it wouldn't be that much of a fight. And then I watched the Warriors playing games, and I saw the stats that they have since Jimmy Butler joined that team.
Look at this.
Dude, they went from like a late like 18th to 20th like offensive defensive rating, and then Jimmy joined and they're like top 3. They have like the second best record since he joined the team or something like
Yep.
that. And
Yep.
I was so out of the
I
loop
told you.
because I missed out. I didn't even watch the Warriors much during the regular season.
I
I
told
didn't
you, bro.
see how much of a difference Jimmy made, but boy, he makes a difference, man.
He
So I
totally
don't know.
does, especially in the playoffs, because it
Yeah.
is playoff Jimmy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. And the thing is with the Rockets, I agree with what you're saying, is that having a bad night like this and still, like, you
They
don't
only
want to
lost
lose.
by 10 points.
Yeah, like,
Even shooting
you
that
don't want
bad.
to lose by 10, but it's not like that bad. It could be a lot worse. So, like I said, you only need to convert a couple of those shots for it to really be a close game and to have a chance.
Mhm.
Um, and I think they were talking about it after the game. I'm kind of just stealing things from the TNT crew because I was watching their post game analysis. Um, but they were talking about coaching and as the coach, what do you do now? And it's like
What
shots just weren't
if you're
falling.
Houston?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm like
Like if you're
even
just not making
they
shots, I mean, is it his fault if
the fact that
if
they even
you're
held
just
Golden State to 95, like,
I mean, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
yeah, in my
And they
mind,
played with
that's
a lot
kind
of
of crazy.
physicality. They had 22 offensive rebounds, and I want to say Golden State only had 5 or 6. So they were playing really physical, getting a lot of offensive rebounds, but they'd get the rebound and the second shot wouldn't go down either. So
Yeah.
it was just a tough night for them. They were playing with the right physicality, but this is another one of those teams that a lot of these guys haven't really been in this moment before. I think they were a play-in team last year, but it's the same thing. And they asked the coach about, do you think the moment was too big for these guys? And he's like, well, it's not the moment. It's just different playoff physicality, and they were physical in the first half, but I think they just got a little tired. And the thing that could change for them is their discipline on taking a, a great shot over a good shot. So just making one extra pass,
Yeah.
not trying to take the first look that you get. Have
Yeah,
some
that's huge.
patience. It's the playoffs. Teams are going to know what you're doing. You run your first play, it's not there. Be patient, pass it and find another look. I think maybe, and I don't know because I didn't watch the full game. I watched most of the end of it, but shooting 3 for 15, sure, maybe some of that is you had an open look and it just didn't fall. Sometimes you can't control everything, right? There's a breeze, whatever. Fucking, but you have to think that part of that inefficiency is maybe you just need to take better shots.
Yeah,
Be a
definitely.
little more patient and find a shot that is a lot more open. If they're able to do that and convert only a few more of those buckets, they're right back in this series and right back in every single game. So it's definitely not over for Houston. Obviously, they have a lot of strengths, a good young team, and the other thing was there were players like I want to say it was Jabari Smith, and it was who else? There was someone else on the Rockets that was actually shooting well, but it was still Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green taking the shots. So it's just knowing who the hot hand is. If I'm Jalen Green and I'm shooting bad, maybe I'm just gonna take a L for tonight and let my other guy eat so we can win this game and survive to the next game, right? Have that discipline and that unselfishness to be able to recognize what's going to give your team the best chance to win, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And being a great player, part of it is realizing when you're on a cold stretch right now, and you gotta just
right.
find another way to help the team win.
Yep.
Uh, I see them doing a better
Absolutely.
job. They'll do a better job coming up. Um, Ime's a good coach. He's a good coach too. He would have been
Yep.
good on the Celtics if there
If he
wasn't
didn't
all that.
start dating his coworker,
Yeah.
goes right back to what we're talking about with Bill Belichick. What is it with coaches in New England dating their coworkers or making their coworkers work for them, or same type of same vibe, same vibe. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
Um, all right, Tony. So that's all I got for NBA playoffs. I do have one more thing that we can do just as a little fun thing before
All
we
right.
end this episode.
Let's get it.
So I got right here, I have a wheel. Oh, I don't have a wheel. Here we go. Here's my wheel of NFL teams. So what we're going to do is we get to draft a starting lineup, NFL lineup, and we have to pick someone from the team that we spin on this wheel. So you're
Yep.
going to go first. We're going to spin this wheel, and the team that you get, you have to pick someone. And this is all time. We're saying all time for this. Not doesn't have to be active, but all time. Green Bay Packers.
Oh, all
Who's it going to be?
time. Oh, all right. So we got a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense.
You got some good options here.
I do.
You got some good options. I'm not going to give you any ideas, but there are good options for Packers for sure. And for defense, let's just say one defensive player.
Okay,
All-time
one
defensive
defensive
player.
player.
Not like a whole defensive unit, because that's going to be hard. All time, that's going to be hard to kind of hone in on. But
All right.
I know I got some names in my head for sure.
If we're doing all time though, all right. I feel like I'm gonna have
Packers,
to
who's it going
go.
to be?
I'm thinking either Devontae or Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go A-Rodge.
All right. Tony's got A-Rod at the QB. Aaron Rodgers at the QB. Who am I going to get? What team am I going to get? Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay. I
and
thought I
on
was
the
about to get.
Panthers, bro.
Listen, the Panthers would not be that bad actually, because I have some names in mind that I would go with, but Los Angeles Rams, I got to go with Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Marshall Falk. That is too good to pass up.
Yeah, I
Wait, no,
agree.
is it Eric Dickerson that has the rushing record? Shit, maybe I should go with Eric Dickerson. No, I'll stick with Marshall Falk. I think he's great. And he can catch passes too. So let's go back to you, Tony.
All right.
See who you get. It's going to be the Buffalo Bills. Oh, snap. Your
Ooh.
quarterback's already filled.
No. Who's that? Who's that running back on the Bills when they made it to like 4 straight Super Bowls and lost? He
Bro,
was so nasty.
if you pick OJ Simpson,
No, it wasn't. No,
right
OJ
now.
was way. No, he was way before that. But what's his name?
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Thomas?
I know exactly who you're talking about. What was it? What was the name? What was it?
Thurman Thomas.
That's who it is. Thurman Thomas. You're going
I'm
to pick
picking him.
Thurman
I'm going with
Thomas
him. Thurman Thomas at running back.
at running back. Okay. All right. Back to me. Who's it going to
Dude thought I
be?
was really gonna pick OJ.
I might pick OJ.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh no, you
my
can't
running back's
running back
already filled,
punt.
so I can't pick OJ. I got the Bills though. I'm going with Josh Allen, baby. Of
Yeah,
course, you
I
know I'm
knew it.
going
I
Josh
knew it.
Allen. Oh, I'm so happy with this. I am so happy with this right now. Holy shit.
All right, so we both got wide receiver, tight end, defense left then.
Yep. And you got the New
Oh,
England
let's go.
Patriots.
All right, give me the
You can't pick
2000.
Brady.
No. Which is okay. Primary odds still pretty good. All right, give me the 03 or 04. Give me the 2003 Patriots defense.
Oh, I was talking about just one player.
Oh, the
Like
one
one
player.
defensive player.
Oh, easy. Okay. Give me. Oh, there's so many of them.
I mean,
There's just so many of them. I had no idea.
oh my god. All right, so you're going defense,
Yeah.
but a defensive Pats player.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be?
um.
Who are you choosing between? Who are some names that you're thinking about right now?
I'm either thinking. Well, it's really only two. Either McGinnis or Seymour. I just don't know which one is
Oh,
better.
okay. Not Vince Wilfork? That's crazy.
I was thinking Wilfork as well. Um. Give me Richard Seymour.
Richard Seymour on the defense. All right. Okay. Okay.
Wolfwork was up there. He was probably third best.
Dude, not picking Randy Moss is crazy, I gotta say.
Oh my god, I forgot I had a wide receiver. All right, well, Randy Moss on the Vikings though is better than Patriots Randy Moss. So
But still, all right.
I know what
I don't want to hear
I
your
know.
excuses.
I
All
know.
right, that's
I know what
not what
you're
you were
saying.
thinking. That's not what you were thinking.
I
But I got
know.
the Miami Dolphins. I got the Dolphins now, so I can go. I can go with. I could go with Tyreek Hill. That's probably the best option I have, low key. Defensive Miami Dolphin though. Who could be a defensive guy? Definitely not a tight end. I think I have to go with Tyreek Hill. I got to go with Tyreek Hill here, even though he like threw his kid off the roof or something, or was about to. All right, I'm feeling good. That Josh Allen Tyreek Hill connection is going to be crazy.
I
Holy
can't.
shit!
I still can't believe I didn't even think about
Yeah,
Randy
you
Moss.
really fucked that one up.
Well,
But you
you
got the
hit
Cincinnati
Patriots. And I
Bengals.
was thinking, oh, Cincinnati Bengals. Give me that's easy. Give me Jamar Chase.
Okay. All right. That's a good pick. I don't know why my first thought was Tyler Eifert at tight end, though. I don't know why, but that's just what I thought. Mine is going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Oh man.
Ooh. Actually though, I'm picking Jalen Ramsey. Jalen
Oh,
Ramsey
that's a
as a
good,
Jag
yeah.
was actually good though.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
He was good as a Jag too.
Yeah.
All right. Last pick for you. This is going to
So
be your
I
tight
gotta
end.
pick a tight end.
We both have our tight ends left. Oh, New York Giants tight end? Who's it going to be?
Oh man.
I know who I'm picking.
Really?
Yeah. Honestly, the name I have, you might not even know who it is. You're not tapped in like that on the Giants tight ends, bro.
I'm thinking either
Theo Johnson.
no. I kind of want
He's
to
the GOAT,
say
dude.
Mark. I kind of want to say Mark Bavaro because
Okay.
he was nasty back
Okay.
in the day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
he's
man.
like the
Yeah, I
only
wasn't even
one I
thinking
know.
that.
I mean, yeah,
Is
I'm
that
gonna
where
have
you're
to
going
go.
with?
I'm gonna have to. I don't really know who else who I could
Okay.
put up there.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. I like that. I like that pick though. He was a demon, bro. He really was
Yeah,
a demon. I would have
yeah.
picked Jeremy Shockey. I would have
Oh,
gone Jeremy Shockey.
he was a good one too.
But I'm gonna get a Miami Dolphins tight end anyway, which I guess I have to pick freaking Mike Gesicki or John or Jonnu Smith last year. But no, I'll go Mike Gesicki on that one. Oh my god, that's so funny. All right, so the final rosters. Tony, you have Aaron Rodgers at your quarterback, Thurman Thomas at running back, Jamar Chase, Mark Bavaro, and Richard Seymour as your defensive guy. And my team, I have Josh Allen, Marshall Falk, Tyreek Hill, Mike Gesicki, and Jalen Ramsey. I don't know, man. I like my team. I like my guys, man. My guys are kind of
Ah,
goated though.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I feel like your team is better. Also, I gotta be honest.
You're just
I will
folding.
say
You're
I got you.
instantly
I
folding.
got you on the quarterback though. I think Prime A-Rod is better than Josh Allen.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
but when Josh Allen launches that shit to Tyreek Hill, you don't want
Well, when
none of
Aaron
that.
Rodgers launches that shit to Jamar Chase.
That's true too, though. That's true too. But that's gonna be more of like I don't know. That Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary to Jamar Chase is kind of crazy. But I don't know.
I
We're
got
both pretty weak
Seymour.
at tight end,
Seymour,
honestly.
way better defensive player than Ramsey.
Really though, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
It, but the fact that you could have had freaking
I know Randy
you you
Moss.
you could have had
I
Randy
know,
Moss, and then the
I
Bengal
know.
you could have taken like Trey Hendrickson, or you could have taken freaking I don't know if the Bengals have many great defensive guys, but you could have, I don't know, you could have had Randy Moss, which is crazy. That would have put you over,
Fuck.
I think. But
Dude, I saw the
good,
Patriots and I
good game.
immediately just thought
Yeah,
defense.
I mean, because that was a big thing on all their title runs was defense. Huge for
Yeah.
them. I mean, yeah, absolutely huge. Let me see if I can find a NBA one,
Ooh, fun.
and we can do just for a last thing to kind of take us out is we'll do our starting fives, and this is going to be with NBA teams.
All time, right?
And this is all time. Yep, all time.
Let's go.
And obviously, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center.
All right. Who's going first? Me or you?
You.
We got the
You got the
Raptors.
Toronto Raptors.
Oh, that's give me Tracy McGrady.
Team. Wait, did he play for the Raptors?
Wait. No, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say. Wait.
Vince Carter. Give me Vince Carter.
Okay. Vince Carter. Where at the two?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, Vince Carter at the two. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna struggle with this, I think, because my bag is not too deep. Yeah, I'm taking Steph Curry.
Of course. Of course.
I'm taking Curry, baby. You know it. Let's go. Come on. Don't even mess with me, bro. Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh man,
Oh
you
my
you almost
god!
had the Lakers.
All right,
That would have been crazy. Holy
Charles Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley, he didn't play for the Knicks.
Yeah,
He
am
played
I
for the
like
Suns.
no? Didn't he played for the Knicks?
Did he?
I thought he did.
No, he did not. He played for
No
the
way.
Rockets, the Suns, and the Sixers.
Oh my god! I'm such an idiot.
I'm like, what?
Oh, why
Charles
did I think he
Barkley
played
is not
for
a
the
Knick.
Knicks, bro?
He was never a Knick. That's crazy.
Patrick Ewing, then I guess.
Patrick Ewing, right? That's good at center, right?
Can I put him at power forward? Actually,
Sure.
all right, put him at power forward.
All right. My next team is gonna be the Warriors again. Oh, do I go Steph and Clay? Or do I go
Either that or
Draymond
KD.
or KD? Oh, dude, you shouldn't have told me that. I'm going KD at my small forward.
I'm really screwing myself on this one.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
You shouldn't tell me people before. You could tell me after and be like, "You're so dumb for not picking this guy." I
Fuck.
probably would have went Clay Thompson there I probably would have went Draymond if you hadn't reminded me. All right, next up, who's it gonna be, baby? It's gonna be the LA Clippers.
Oh
Pretty loaded
man,
right now. Could be a current Clipper.
that's true. Um, this is tough. You know what? Screw it. Give me Kawhi, I guess.
Kawhi at small forward.
I guess so. Yeah.
Wow.
I
I mean,
mean,
hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
he's he's the only one that I know of on that team that has a title. So there's a
Well,
couple.
yeah, that's true. True. Miami Heat. Oh,
Dude,
Tony,
you were again such good teams, bro.
Tony.
Oh my god.
But do I want LeBron James at the 2 though? Do I take LeBron James at the 2 or do I take D Wade? Because I kind of already got KD at the small forward though. Nah, I'm going with
I'm not
LeBron.
helping. Oh
I'll
fuck.
put LeBron at my 2. I put LeBron at my 2, dude.
I wasn't
It
gonna
doesn't
help you
even
that
matter.
one, but I was gonna say you take LeBron. Take LeBron
This
any
is
day.
crazy, dude. Holy shit. Heat LeBron James at my 2. Listen, Dwayne
Even
Wade would
even
not
if
be a
he's
bad
on the
pick
two.
either.
No, no. No, Dwayne Wade, no.
Oh, you got Milwaukee?
Oh, let's go. Give me Kareem. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, baby, at the
Kareem
center.
at center. Yep. Wow. Kareem the Dream. Kareem, baby. He's the GOAT. All right. My next pick is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. Ooh.
Oh.
I think I got to go Embiid here. I'm going to go Embiid at my center.
Let's go. Oh, wait, you already picked Steph, so you couldn't even I was
Yeah,
gonna
I
say
would have
after
done if it
this.
wasn't if I didn't have Steph already, I would go with AI, but yeah, I already have Steph and I'll take Steph over AI anyway. So,
That's yeah.
all right, so your point guard is going to be from the Sacramento Kings.
No fucking way. Oh my god. I don't even know any good point guards that played for them.
Who's
I'm
their
not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to use my phone for this, dude. I
I was
really
just about
don't.
to look it up. Oh, I know one. I know one. A recent one. I mean, De'Aaron Fox was just their point guard before he got traded.
Oh man. I mean, Oscar Robertson. I didn't know this, but he played for the Kings, so
Okay.
I'm gonna have to
You
go
going
Robertson.
you going
Yeah,
Oscar Robertson as a
just literally
king.
so much above like all the other ones on the list.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, he was amazing. Scoring title, I think.
Yeah.
All right, my last pick, my power forward.
Come on, give him a shitty team, bro. You got all the goaded
Oh, give me the
teams.
Lakers. Oh, and
No,
that's gonna be. Can I take Kareem too, or can I take Kareem?
I mean, I guess you
Um,
could. Yeah.
I mean, it's a different version. I won't do that because you did already pick Kareem. Lakers power forward. I'm thinking like Pau Gasol or like Dwight Howard. Oh, do I go? Oh, but was Gasol like more of like a center? No, like Pau Gasol was.
Nah, I think he was more of a forward
Yeah.
for the
All right.
Lakers.
I'm taking Pau Gasol. I'm taking Pau Gasol.
Yeah, I can't
That's
believe that you got literally all the goaded teams,
that's
bro.
crazy. Yeah, I really did. I got the Warriors twice, the Heat, the Lakers, and the
Oh
Sixers
my
was the
god.
weakest one, but still, holy crap.
I
So
was
we
gonna
got
say for that last one, you got probably I would have picked Gasol too, or maybe
yeah.
Anthony Davis.
Oh, I forgot about AD. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh yeah. No, I probably would have still went Gasol over him because I was thinking Dwight Howard too. But
Yeah,
yeah. Wow. Okay. So you got Oscar Robertson, Vince Carter, Kawhi, Patrick Ewing, and Kareem. Having Patrick Ewing and Kareem is crazy.
I know.
Two giants. Oh my god,
I
dude.
actually did pretty good. Granted, the teams I got, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, these are two stacked rosters for sure. I
Yeah, for
mean, then
sure.
I have Curry, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Pau Gasol, and Embiid. I mean, I think I did really good in both of these drafts.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I took that one. I think I took
I
both of
don't
them
know,
low
man.
key.
You got
Low
a lot
key,
of
I think I took
current
both of
era
them.
players on there.
Well, those are the best players,
Well,
though.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd say. I'd say so.
You
I don't
think
know. I like my odds there.
you think
I like my
today's era
odds.
of the NBA is better than when Kareem and fucking Ewing were playing?
Overall, in general, yeah.
I guess like yeah, the
But I
depth of
mean,
players,
y-
yeah, and today is way higher than it was
yeah,
back
just
then.
because I mean, with just like human evolution, like people are just bigger and stronger now than they've ever been, and it's just more competitive. There's been more like development in like there's moves people can do today that nobody was thinking of, 30 years ago when they were playing. But I don't know, like it's also like there's a lot more fouls getting called now than there
Yeah,
were.
dude, the
Like,
league is so soft nowadays. It's
yeah,
like
but also
insane.
think about if you had Patrick Ewing or Kareem in the league nowadays, like they'd get so many fouls, bro.
Yeah,
It'd be insane. It'd be nuts, dude. Because they're
yeah.
just huge dudes and they play so physical, you know? But yeah, man, I like that. I like those. I like my odds in that in those matchups.
All right.
What
Well,
a phenomenal episode! A lot of fun.
yes, sir. Thank
A lot
you.
of fun today, Tony.
I want to thank again everyone again for joining in and listening. Episode 2 is now in the books, and next week, got episode 3 coming up, and the NFL draft happening this Thursday, and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see how these NBA playoff series shake up. So again,
Oh
phenomenal
yeah,
time. I want to thank you, my buddy Ryan, for helping put this together. Thank you for being the tech person.
of
And
course.
Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you next
Yeah.
week.
Thank you guys for watching so much. Make sure to drop a like and all that. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know if I won the drafts down below. Let us know what you think about the NFL draft coming up. Let us know what you think about the playoffs. We want to hear from you. So sound off in the comments for sure. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. Tell them all about it. So happy to have you. Much love.
Much love and
Peace.
peace
Peace,
out.
y'all.